Since the first such incident was reported from the Udupi Government PU College for Girls on December 28, a total of 5 educational institutes, 3 government-run colleges and 2 private institutes have denied entry to women students wearing the hijab. 2 colleges have declared a holiday to avoid communal trouble, while another has put some girls in a separate classroom for wearing hijabs. We are in 2022 and we are still discussing what a woman should wear. We're talking about whether a girl's attire is more important than her access to education. Hello and welcome. You're watching The Urban Debate. I'm Archana. This evening, I will put the spotlight on an issue that is denying education to girls in Karnataka. The High Court will hear the matter tomorrow after 5 students of the government women's pre-university college moved court. Whether a hijab is progressive or regressive is a different conversation. But to choose that for someone and deny them their fundamental rights is a conversation we will have over the course of the next 40 minutes. I welcome my guests on the panel. Mohan Krishna, BJP leader. In Karnataka, Raghav Avasthi, who's a political analyst. Syed Shafiullah Sahib, leader JDS. Advaita Kaila, who's an author. And Tahira Hassan, who's an activist. Thank you so much for making time and speaking to Mirror Now. My first question is to Mohan Krishna of the Karnataka BJP. Mr. Krishna, I want to understand from you, the matter has reached the High Court. Kerala High Court ruling from 2016 says that case over, this was basically a dress code for All India pre-medical entrance test that banned the hijab, and it said that banning hijab will violate Article 21A of the 25 of the Constitution on religious freedom. What is your view on that? Anyway, we know that tomorrow is a very important hearing in the Karnataka High Court.
Good evening, Archana. Good evening to all. It's prejudiced to think about the judicial aspect, basically. Let us wait. It is just a matter of another 8-9 hours or maximum 12 hours that the verdict will be out, or whatever the High Court feels will be known to the country and to the people who are protesting. And it is very evident from the speeches of PM Modi today, our Honorable Modi ji has hit the nail today, why this is happening. Just give me 2 minutes of time. I will explain the module of the Congress as how to disturb the peace in the country, especially now in Karnataka, how they have moduled it.
No, sir. I'm so sorry, I have to interrupt you. Before making it political, I just want to ask you something, that your government has a very strong position on hijab, and I just wanted to understand, how does wearing hijab come in the way of college discipline and education? We'll come to the Congress bit later. I am aware of those developments. We'll talk about politics later. But I'm just talking about from the ruling government's point of view, how does a hijab come in the way of being a student?
The definition of student and the definition of uniform has been forgotten totally. The defeat has been given a big name for uniform for student. I never expected a student, as you rightly pointed, we are in 2022. We are heading towards from Amrut Kal to 100 years of independence in the country. Are we still fighting for all these minor things now? They have left.
All right. Okay. It is. Let girls choose whether it's minor for them. You're denying them education. You're not letting them enter classrooms. You're making separate classrooms for them. All right. Let me open this debate to others also on the panel, and then we'll have your thoughts on this.
No, let me
one by one.
Arguing constitutional matters.
Please, one by one. All right, guys, I would like to request all of you to please wait for their turns. Please do not speak out of turn. We want to have a very nuanced conversation. So let me open this conversation, this debate to other members of the panel. I'm also joined by Tahira Hassan.
Just give me 10 seconds. Since you have questioned me that we have stopped the students to enter into the classroom. I'm sorry. We have asked them to come without hijab because the order is there already in the place and they don't want to follow. Since we don't want to deny their entry into the college premises, we have students have been asked to come and sit in the classroom where they can it. That's all.
All right.
Nobody has denied the entry. Please don't tell. Don't tell
No,
anybody.
that's not
The
true. They are in
Marcus-
separate classrooms. Tahira Hassan, over to you. You have a point. Please go ahead.
Yes, I just want to ask my BJP friend that please tell me, are we not the largest democracy in the world? We are proud of it. And it is run by the Constitution, Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar Constitution. And right to education is our fundamental right. It is enshrined in the Constitution, and freedom of religious practice, it is also fundamental right enshrined in the Constitution. So this country will run by the Constitution. You cannot deny the right to
BJP doesn't
education
agree.
to girls. Of course, we respect our Constitution. That's why I'm asking for constitutional right. Let me finish, sir. How can you deny girls to attend the classes? Whether they cover their head or not, it is their right, their fundamental right. Unless or until this right is hampering to the fundamental rights of the others, you cannot deny. This is our Constitution, and there is no reason, there should be no reason of just to keep these girls away from attending college. I think it's a bizarre statement,
Okay.
They are covering their head. How it is going to
Yeah, I
hinder
want
and it is harm to others.
just now. Can I
All right.
Decide. It is
Okay.
the girls' prerogative to decide whether they want to cover their head or
Can I
not.
come in?
Nobody should force them. Nobody should force them to cover their head, and nobody should force them not to cover their head.
Okay. All right. Let me
बेटी को
now.
बढ़ाएंगे
Tahira,
and बढ़ाएंगे. How you are
Since
going
she
to
has-
बढ़ाओ बेटी? When you are not able to educate them, how you are going to
Mr.
बढ़ाओ?
Raghav,
Okay, I'm
Mr.
really
Raghav,
sorry.
he
I
has
cannot
asked-
understand who's
Answer.
speaking what.
You are just hampering the life and future of girls. That is
Come
all.
on, Miss Tahira. Come on, Miss Tahira. We have heard enough of you.
Covering
We have
head
heard enough
Mohan
of you.
Krishna,
going
please let
to
her finish her
hamper any
point.
Other
Please.
fundamental right, you let me know first.
Okay.
Can I
Covering
come
their
in now?
head
Yes,
is going
yes.
to hamper
All
the
right.
fundamental right of others? Yes or no?
Can I explain some fundamental
Okay,
rights?
now I would like to, yes, now I would like to go to Raghav Avasthi, who
Let
has a,
them
yes.
study. Let them get
Yeah,
the
yeah, I would
Let
like
them
to
get the
speak about
quality of
constitutional
education.
rights, ma'am.
Government
Let me
schools
complete. You
cannot deny
spoke
the
now. You spoken. Let me
fundamental
talk about
rights
some
you-
Tahira Hassan, we
constitutional
heard
rights
you.
here.
Tahira Hassan, okay.
Let me speak about some constitutional
No,
rights
you
here.
cannot violate
I'm actually
fundamental right
arguing
of
part
any
of the
citizen
national
of
right
this
petition
country.
before the Delhi High Court, so I know what I'm talking about. Unlike you, I also
Archana.
studied law
Okay,
at Harvard,
okay.
the best university in the country. So let me talk.
All right, Mr.
Thank
Avasthi,
you.
one second. Okay, I have,
When you are
okay.
speaking,
Tahira,
I did not interrupt you, sir. And when I tried to put my
But
views,
you
you
cannot, you
tried
don't have
not
the
to let
untrammeled right to speak.
Tahira Hassan and Raghav
For the
Avasthi,
length
can
of
you
the
hear
show.
me?
Thank you.
Can
Let
you
me
please
talk now.
listen to me first? Okay, we are trying to have a very mature
that was
conversation. It is a
enlightenment.
very sensitive issue. Please understand, we are talking about a very sensitive issue. And if you'll keep talking over each other, your points will get lost in it. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
So please
I don't
allow
want
the
a
other
lot
person
of
to
time.
speak and
First
then
of
wait
all-
for your turn.
Now you listen.
All right,
First of
so
all-
we have heard, one second, let me please
Archana.
moderate this conversation. It is not going into any directions, please. All right? Okay, thank you, Tahira Hassan. You made your point. I will come back to you. And now let me go to Raghav Avasthi. Raghav, please go ahead.
Yeah. So, Tahira ji was talking about freedom of religion, which is
Archana.
enshrined in Article 25 of the Constitution. Now, Article 25 has been made explicitly subservient to other provisions of this part. If she has a pocket copy of the Constitution, she can go over it. And secondly, what is protected under Article 25 is practices that are essential to the religion, not any other social practices. There are many Muslim women who don't wear the hijab, which is evidence of the fact that this practice is not essential to this religion, and hence it cannot be protected. And yes, of course, you have the right to education, but you have the right to education subject to you following the rules and regulations of that institution, and no arbitrary allowance. If that is made, then that would be violative of Article 14 of the Constitution as interpreted by the Honorable Supreme Court in E.P. Royappa, wherein the Honorable Supreme Court
Can I
has
speak,
clearly
Archana?
said that arbitrariness is antithetical to justice. So arbitrarily, if there is one set of students who are allowed to violate the rules of the institution by wearing a hijab and which is a hijab as per a practice which is not essential to the Muslim religion, because if it were essential, then Muslims all across the world all Muslim women across the world would be wearing the hijab. They don't. Yet they're not accused of apostasy. So we have to understand, first of all, and I will recapitulate, that Article 25 protects practices that are essential. And since hijab is not an essential practice, allowing it for one set of students would be against Article 14 of the Constitution, and your right to education. Your right to education is subject to you following the rules of the institution. Tomorrow I want to study at IIT and say that I have the right to education at IIT without clearing the entrance test.
Okay, point taken, Raghav. Syed Saifullah has a counter.
And if you want to wriggle out of following the rules, you have to show that this practice is essential to your religion. And
Ms. Archana,
you go through the Quran.
Tahira, please wait.
But it's my prerogative. I don't use cover my head. If I cover my head, then I should be allowed to enter in institutions.
Ms. Archana,
Tahira, okay, point taken. Raghav Avasthi.
This is not a madrasa.
Yes.
It is a government-run educational institution. So you have to follow the rules, unless, of course, you can show that this practice is so essential to your religion that you will be declared an apostate if you don't follow that.
Okay, Raghav, point taken. Thank you for weighing in. Syed Saifullah has a point. No, Tahira, please wait. Mr. Saifullah wants to weigh in. Yes, over to you.
see, Ms. Archana, I am from Karnataka. I am seeing all this right from the day one. It's very clear. I want to draw your attention and viewers' attention towards one important point, that is, all this has started only after the BJP has come to power. And those boys near colleges who are protesting, most of those boys are outsiders. Either RSS, BJP or Bajrang Dal or VHP boys have joined with the college students with the shawls. Saffron shawls. This is purely an agenda to stop the education, to put a hurdle in Muslim girls getting education, because more Muslim girls started going to colleges. My own daughter, she studied for 3 years with hijab. Nobody has objected. Even in the college where my daughter was studying also has got 80% of Hindu students and Hindu teachers. Nobody has objected, and she never had any problem, neither any other student or any teacher had any problem. Why all this problem has started? Only because BJP has come to power with an agenda to cause hurdles in Muslims' education, Muslim girls and boys' education. And I think after all this has happened, the cabinet ministers and CM also are talking in the same tone. The boys over there, protesting boys are talking. This shows very clearly that they have been given instructions from top. And this is not right. This is not good for our nation. My nation should progress with all boys and girls getting education.
Okay.
Even the Muslim families which don't send their girls without hijab, they also should have the right to get education. They should not be denied the education. And these people who are talking, instead of being magnanimous towards Muslim girls and boys, they are talking about rules only for Muslims to follow. Why the same rules are not being followed when all others are observing their religious practices everywhere?
Yes.
I don't want to raise that question because most of my friends are not that kind of people who talk like this.
Okay.
Most of the people in India, they want everybody to progress with education.
Okay. Mr. Shafiullah, thank you for weighing in. You've made your point. Let me go across to Advaita Kaila, who's been very patiently waiting with her perspective on this very sensitive issue. Ms. Kaila, thank you for making time. You've been very patiently waiting. What is your view on this? Is it faith versus future, or faith and future? What is your view that are we forcing these girls to make that very difficult choice between their faith and education? Or there needs to be a conversation, everyone needs to come to the table and not unilaterally ban them from entering classrooms?
Yes, I don't think you can take rigid positions on an issue like this. Tomorrow, if there is a girl child and she's told to wear a very short skirt in school and she's not comfortable with wearing that, her parents do have the right to appeal to the school and go to the school and say that, sorry, this may be part of the uniform, but my child is not comfortable in this outfit. Having said that, I don't see, if you look at it in practical terms, the hijab is essentially a headscarf. It does not in any way conceal the face. It does not get in the way of, a student-teacher interaction. You can tell if the child is awake and not sleeping. It doesn't have any practical, issues with wearing it. In the examination, if there are exams, you can identify the student. There's no issue as such. Yes, there is an issue of a uniform code. Now, there is some talk that they have signed some sort of a contract wherein they all have to follow the same uniform code. There is a precedent to this. This has happened in Kerala as well, where it went to the courts, and the Kerala High Court held that the collective rights of an institution would be given primacy over the individual rights of the petitioner. So there is a precedent wherein where the court has upheld the institution's rights to form its own rules. Having said that, these girls are 6 girls, if I remember correctly, is what it was about. And the most of the girls in this college who are Muslim are also there without any hijab, no issue. There are 6 girls who want to wear it. And this is where where this whole controversy has come in. Now there are protests going on. There are multiple colleges that have been shut. There were 2 young men who were found with guns and arrested. So this is a tinderbox. I think we have to be sensible about this. Talk to the girls, talk to the parents, understand what the issue is. If they are not being forced to wear the hijab, like we have seen in some societies where girls are forced to wear the hijab and jailed when they don't, in Iran, for example, then if it's their own choice and if it's a matter of comfort, then let's focus on the main goal, which is education, and to ensure that people get their education. And I think that's really the way forward. This is a diverse country. We have to be sensible about this.
Okay. Mohan Krishna is back with us. Mr. Krishna, before I ask you the very important question that I have been meaning to ask, I want to ask you one thing. Those who framed this circular or those who made this rule, was there any woman in that decision-making panel?
I think government is very sensible enough. And,
just tell me, was this decision taken by a woman? Was there any representation from the Muslim community? Was there any representative? Was there a woman, in fact, in this panel that came up with this decision? I'll tell you why I'm asking that question. So if you could help me understand that.
Please.
No, because it is about, like everyone on this panel said, that it is about choice, okay? What women wear. Like I said, I'm not going to get into the argument whether a hijab is a progressive thing or a regressive thing. It's not my, I'm not the right representative. I can't justify that argument. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I think somebody who knows this issue well, or somebody who is a Muslim who wears it or doesn't wear it, should be the one speaking on it. So I'm just going to ask you out of curiosity, was there any representation from a woman leader or a minister that came up with this decision? Because I'm talking about representation. Did you ask a woman whether this rule should be implemented, whether you should be banning girls from wearing hijab?
See, let me answer your questions one by one.
Yeah.
The first is what there are a lot of issues which people have spoken in the panel now.
Mm-hmm.
They spoke about constitution. They spoke about.
You're not answering my question. I just want to ask, was a woman a part of this decision-making process?
I will answer to your question.
Okay.
I will answer to your question. They have talked about the choice. But I am telling you that the purpose of uniform is defeated here. Why you are not understanding that? Why the panel is not understanding that?
Okay,
it is not
okay, let's talk about the uniform argument. All right, great. You are saying that uniformity to ensure uniformity.
Why it has all started only after the BJP has come to power?
Absolutely, yes. Let's talk about uniformity. Are you going to change this rule in schools also? Because, okay, one second. I have a question. Tahira, please wait. Yes, one second. Let me finish my point. I have a question. So, sir, you said uniformity is the most important factor.
There before BJP came to power, for hundreds of years, hijab was worn and no problem was there.
Mr. Syed, please wait. Mohan Krishna, you finish your point, then I will ask my question. Okay, you would feel that you've not been heard? Yes, please go ahead.
Now, what I'm going to tell the panel people is,
Yeah.
for student, college is not a choice. She has made the choice of that college. Okay? And education is not a choice. Education is a necessary. And why they are not understanding that? Second thing, coming to the point, what Tahira was speaking, she was talking big about women wearing hijab and all. Let me ask Tahira, then why the High Court in Kerala has given the verdict that that should not be weard? Then how can it happen like that? In one state it happens in that way, and in another state it happens in another way. What is the purpose of uniform?
So, okay,
I
all right.
couldn't hear. Why is this cutting?
And coming to the point, I was explaining about the module. Explaining about the module of this opposition party, what they wanted to do in Karnataka. They have been defeated. They are angry for that. They did it in Belgaum, communal violence. Now they have started in Dakshin Kannada. It has spread throughout the district, Udupi and Dakshina Kannada. Now next they will have some
BJP has come to power after 17 other party leaders have defected. MLAs have defected and joined BJP. It has not got elected by the people. Please note that. Don't say that
one
BJP has
second.
got majority by the people.
Yes, one second. Mr. Syed, 1 second. I have a point. 1 second. Mr. Mohan Krishna.
They have got some other MLAs from other parties. Then the BJP has come to power. Please don't forget that.
Both MLAs didn't want to be part of the Congress anymore. It's as simple as that. They resigned. Then the BJP won those elections.
Okay.
Otherwise,
All right. I have to ask
clear.
one question to, please. Yeah, I have a question to the BJP. You said that the idea is to ensure uniformity and this is the reason you have to respect the rules. All right. Now, you said that everyone has to be in that uniform. Now, I'll tell you what Karnataka BJP president said, that we have a BJP government in the state. There is no room for hijab or any other controversy. The school is like Saraswati temple. Okay? It is necessary to follow the rules of school or college. Now, when you're calling a school a Saraswati temple, and on the other hand, you are asking others to not follow their practices, how are you ensuring uniformity? And are you going to ensure that in schools? What about Sikhs wearing turbans? What about the crucifix? What about school prayers, morning assemblies? Are you going to ensure that nobody sings a Gayatri mantra in the morning assembly? Nobody prays on a Saraswati Vandana? How are you going to ensure uniformity? What is uniformity?
Supreme Court judgments about it. Can I wait on to this? Can I wait?
Yes, Raghav, go ahead.
Yes.
Keep it short,
So
please.
we have to understand, as mentioned earlier, that there is a difference between practices that are essential to one's religion, and there is a difference. And of course, on the other hand, there are practices that are not essential. Today, we have a situation in the larger Islamic world where people are trying to reform. In the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which is the country where all the holy sites of Muslims are there, they are having rave parties where men and women are participating.
Why should we be copying the Saudi Arabia? I don't understand. Are we not a much older nation than Saudi Arabia?
Democracy. We don't appreciate Saudi Arabia. Sir, we appreciate our country, our democracy, our constitution.
We have the topmost constitution of India. The whole world agrees that our constitution is the best in the world. Why should we be copying Saudi Arabia?
Raghav, Tahira Hassan and Mr. Syed, listen to me. All of you are speaking, all of you are speaking together and I cannot understand. And if I can't understand, I presume that none of my viewers are going to understand whatever you are saying. So please don't talk over each other. Raghav, you've made your point. Tahira Hassan, I want to come to you now. As you rightly said that Saudi Arabia is not a model for India. We have to go by our constitution, correct? Now, we've had this conversation earlier. Let me... One second.
People sitting somewhere will decide, and Deoman will decide what the model is.
Raghav, one second. So Tahira, listen to my question, please. I want to ask you something. There are a lot of girls, who fight patriarchy day in and day out. Sometimes Even to step out of their homes, they have to dress in a certain way. The clothes that their fathers decide, their brothers decide, their mothers decide. You have to be covered, fully covered, right? That is a precondition for a lot of girls to step out, to go to school, okay? And from that, strict norm, they make their way to the school. There are a lot of girls who do not want to wear the hijab. I earlier had Zeenat Shaukat Ali on one of my shows. She said that there needs to be a conversation within the community to give that freedom of choice to women. What about those girls who want to study, who want a bright future, but they have to forcefully wear or follow certain practices, because if they don't do that, they will not be allowed to step out of their homes? Your view on that?
Yes, of course, I agree with you. Archana, that this patriarchy is deep-rooted in our country, and the patriarchy has got they have made the guideline, and they control the sexuality of the women. They force them. That's why I said no girl should be forced to wear scarf, and no girl should be forced not to wear. First, let them get the education. Then only we will be able to talk to them. Then only they will know about their rights. Then they will come out and fight for their rights. But here what's happening? The parents are not allowed to go without a scarf, and they are not allowed to get the education. Who is sufferer?
Yeah.
Archana, sufferer is our girl. And Beti Padhao.
Raghav, please wait for your turn. No, Raghav, please wait for your turn.
Can I speak,
How you are
Archana?
going to Padhao Beti? First, let them get the education. I mean, by covering their head. This should not be reason. They should not be they should be denied their right to education just because they cover their head. I'm saying this. You make the rule. They could cover their head. The color of the scarf should be color of the dupatta.
Shall I make my point,
right?
Ms.
You can
Archana?
say this.
Yes,
they only
yes.
want to cover their head, right? Let them cover. Let them get education. After that, if they don't want this thing, this regressive practice, I'm saying it is regressive practice, they must be not feeling in that way. I can't force my views on these girls. Let them decide. Let them decide what they want. Why are you forcing? Why are you denying them their constitutional right?
Okay, Tahira, yes, we heard you. BJP has a counter. Yes. Tahira, I heard your point. Yes, let's.
We don't want to discuss any Arabia.
Okay,
we
Tahira.
are so proud of our
Shall I speak, Ms.
constitution and
Archana,
our
please?
life
Absolutely.
democracy.
Okay.
That is run by constitution. You cannot deny constitutional right.
Yes, Tahira, you made your point first.
You don't want to listen to what is there in the Indian constitution.
Raghav, we are not out shouting each other on this debate, please. Raghav,
You
please.
don't deny their right to education.
Raghav, it is not a contest to outshout each other, and I would like to request all my panelists to please.
Not just the Muslim community, but also humanity.
All right. Okay. Now I would like to go to Mr. Syed, who has a point, and then I would go
Shall
to
I
the
speak?
BJP for a count. Yes. Mr. Syed, yes, you can
See,
go
the
ahead.
gentleman from the BJP, the panelist, was saying that the BJP government has come, all other parties have got defeated, and they should what they should doing. He was questioning. Let me remind him that the BJP has not got BJP has not got elected with majority. The BJP has attempted for Operation Kamala, and they have got 17 MLAs shifted to Bombay with a chartered flight. That is how the government has come to power. And government is imposing an agenda of RSS and BJP by creating hurdles to Muslim girls in getting education. And this is not right. It is their fundamental right to wear a hijab or not. There are many families among Muslims who will not send their grown-up girls without hijab outside. If they are denied their right of getting education, it's very bad to our nation.
Right.
It's very bad. And the BJP is least concerned about our youth. And the boys who are protesting over there, they don't know anything. Those boys are sent from outside with shawls, saffron shawls. And this is all arranged by the people who are opposing the girls' education over there with hijab.
Okay, right. Mr. Mohan Krishna, you can make your point, but I want to ask you one thing as well.
First, let me answer, then you ask the question.
Yes, please. Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
let's do that way. Yeah.
First, Tahira, I should remind her one thing. India is a unity with diversity. We have got written constitution and we know everybody. We know everything. And people have understood the constitution more than you. That means the majority people. Let me
Even I
answer
can
to you a few
understand.
questions. Let me answer to you a few questions you have posed. Then do you mean to say the High Court, which has given the verdict that hijab should not be put and come into the schools, that is Muslim Education Society School in Kerala? Then do you mean to why you did not go to the
See,
Supreme Court?
Mr. Muslim
Why you
Education,
did not go to the
Muslim
Supreme
Education
Court, please?
Society in Kerala is running girls'
2016,
schools.
Kerala High Court
The
has
court
spoken very
has
clearly.
given the
Should I talk or you are
judgment
talking?
They
for
can wear
the
staff.
only girls' school,
Archana, what is
not
this?
girls and
2016.
boys
What is this? I cannot talk.
joint school.
I cannot talk
Please
like this.
note
Okay.
that those schools are only girls' school.
No, please listen, Mr. Syed. I have heard you. I have heard you patiently. When it is my turn, I am talking. Then if I am talking wrong, you
My
can.
dear sir,
Okay,
you
Mr.
are
Syed and Mr.
supplying
Krishna
wrong
and Mr.
information.
Avasti and everyone
You
on
are
this
promoting
panel,
wrong
this is the, I think, the
information.
nth
Please
time
correct
I'm making
yourself.
this appeal to you. It is a conversation that I am moderating, okay? I am the one, that's unfortunately the format of the show. I am the one who gets to decide who will speak and when. So please, it's a request, because I really want to understand this issue. I really want to understand all of you. If you will outshout each other, if you will intervene and not let the other person speak, what is the point of this conversation? So please, let's hear each other out. A very important aspect of communication is not just speaking, but also listening to the other person. You've made your point, listen to the other person, then prepare your counter. Don't cut them short. All right? Thank you. Yes, Mr. Krishna of the BJP, make your point.
Yeah, I was telling one thing. Then why they did not go to the Supreme Court when the hijab is court has rejected not to wear hijab. They said that you should not wear. Student is a student. They did not go to the Supreme Court. Now they talk about constitution. They went to the Supreme Court and they took back the application, citing that it is not possible. They know everything. It is only politicization of this. I'm telling you, this is a module in Karnataka they have started. These opposition parties, along with a lot of other elements also.
Okay.
Social elements only. I'm not talking anti-social elements.
Okay.
These people, they have started in Belgaum, communal violence, and they could not succeed. Now they have started in Dakshin Kannada with these 6 students. I was listening to the student today, the protester student. She was saying that we are wearing this, we have to wear this, we have to come this when you have signed. I would like to ask question to Tahira and Syed here. When you sign for credit card without seeing that you are going to sign. In the same way, there is a disciplinary guidelines for the schools, separate schools also, each schools for that matter. Why you are taking up this issue now, which was not there earlier in your mind? Is it because the BJP government is there? You want to put a blame on the BJP government?
All right.
You want to
Please let me come in. First thing
Point
I
taken.
want to say-
BJP only has started, my dear sir. Only BJP has started all this. Nobody is blaming BJP. BJP only has started all this.
Listen,
Okay, now Tahira, yes, Tahira can make your point. Yes, Tahira, go ahead.
One minute only.
No.
I just want to
My
say,
dear
my
sir,
BJP friend,
you are
I don't belong
blaming
to any
opposition parties
political
for no
party,
reason.
sir.
It has all been
You know,
started
I am
by
a
your
women
boys
activist.
near the
Mr.
I
Syed,
don't belong
please
to
let
any
Tahira
political
speak.
And it's
party.
purely
So
BJP
don't say this
cabinet
Congress,
ministers.
BJP or any other party. You know? And I don't need
I did not say
certificate.
Congress. I did not say Congress, Tahira.
No, BJP, you said
please,
people are doing against
Archana,
BJP,
you are
whoever.
not
Why
giving-
should
you are
Okay.
not giving time to talk to me
Only
at all.
thing
You
I'm
said
asking
opposition.
that our Prime Minister
I
said
am not
Sabka
giving
Saath,
time
wrong.
Sabka Vikas,
What is this,
Beti
Archana?
Padhao. I'm saying
What is this?
only
Tahira.
covering their head, they should not be
Okay,
denied.
Tahira, you've made your point. Tahira, you've made your point. I heard you. We all heard you.
My question is this. Let them get the education.
No, if you
Let
want,
them
go and
make
talk
their
to
own
the
brain.
students.
They might
In the same way.
take
Let us
few
stop them
steps
coming.
after they are
Let
get
them come. Let us
educated.
stop them
Okay.
They
coming with hijab.
might speak out against it
Democratic
also.
students
Or
are
they
getting
like.
to
Let
Karnataka.
them go.
What do you want to do
And
in
also
Karnataka?
this
What do you want to do in
hijab. This is
Karnataka?
what
But
I'm
I
saying.
Okay,
don't
Tahira
see
and Mohan Krishna.
Going
Yes, Tahira,
to
please.
cause harm
I
to
heard you,
anybody's
Tahira.
fundamental right.
Okay. I would like to go to Advaita Kala, who's again been patiently waiting, and she's the only one I think who's not outshouting anyone on this panel.
I'm sorry, Archana, just give me 10 seconds. I'm not here to shout. When they are talking in between, I have to raise my voice.
Okay, that is why I'm saying that all of you are raising your voices, but nobody is making a point that is coming across as a coherent one, because I can't hear any of you. That is all right. So let's do this. Let's experiment. All right, let's do one experiment. How about everyone speaks for 60 seconds and the other person doesn't interfere? Let's try that and let's have a very adult-like conversation and let's not interrupt, okay? So let's try this experiment and your time starts now. All right, great. So now I would like to go to Advaita Kala. Now, Advaita, personally, I am very, very, badly affected by the visuals that I see of, on the one hand, girls not being allowed entry, pleading to the principal. Then there are other girls also walking in saffron shawls, boys walking in saffron shawls, same age. And then other children in solidarity walking or protesting in blue shawls. What hurts to see is that children have been divided into colors. At a time when they should be learning to stay united, supporting each other, and, encouraging each other, being friends, enjoying their education time, enjoying their colleges, schools, they are driven by whatever ideology and are protesting. What is your view on this? Are we dividing our children in colors? Are we dividing our children on the basis of ideology when they can utilize this time to make this country a better place?
This is classic identity politics, and this is passes for progressiveness whenever these kind of identity politics are played out. But instead of encouraging dialogue, discussion between people, what it does is that it solidifies, it fossilizes positions, and then everybody goes into their own corner. So if today the hijab is there, then the saffron wearing kids come out, then you can't turn around and tell them, don't wear these saffron shawls. And then the Beam Army kids come with the blue shawls. So, colleges are anyway hotbeds for these kind of, face-offs. On top of that, you have this political backing that is going on. I think the very important thing to do, see, if you look at it purely in practical sense, you have the Kerala court judgment, you have this contract that the kids sign when they come on board in terms of following the rules and things like that. I think, personally for me, I mean, if you get a color coordinated headscarf, no problem, wear it. I come from Uttarakhand, the women, the girls, they all wear headscarves. What is the big deal? But okay, fine. If you want to not lead it into a situation where you now have saffron scarves and blue scarves and all of that circus going on around this, then bring them to the table, speak with them, clarify what the position of the institution is, let them see if they feel comfortable continuing in that institution or whether they want to transfer somewhere else. Right. Nobody can be too rigid, not the kids, not the school. Nobody can be too rigid, but they have to have a conversation about this.
Absolutely. That's a very important point that Advaita is making, that there needs to be a conversation on this issue. Yes, Mr.
lot of time due to technical problem. I would like to make a point here.
Yes.
The students who are protesting now, they should understand. They are saying that we are wearing hijab from last 2-3 years. I would like to remind them, last 2 years there was no school.
And before that, this college existed before pandemic.
Before that, I will tell you what they used to do.
Okay.
They used to come to the college premises with the hijab. When they were sitting in the class, they used to remove one seat. Mm-hmm. This is the worst. The 6 students I am talking. I'm talking of the 6 students.
Wrong information. Wrong information.
For you, Mr.
Totally
Syed,
wrong information.
Mr. Syed, please let him make a point, then I will come to you. I will give you equal time to for your rebuttal.
Totally
please let him finish. This experiment has already failed, I think. Yes, please.
Second thing I would like to ask the students. They have signed for the guidelines, that is okay. If they are not interested, as we are changing the clothes, it is very easy for them to change the school also. Exactly. Okay, let them change. Why you are disturbing the harmony in the district throughout the state now, and it has become a national issue. Congress wanted to do this.
and they are successfully trying to do this. Let me tell you I'll just take 10 seconds. It is very cheap politics they are doing. Till date, students were not the target. Education institution was not the target. But unfortunately, the opposition political leaders, they have gone to such a stupid level that they have come to these students and our education institutions. It is very bad for the country. It is very bad for the students community, and it is very bad for everybody because they are the future of the country.
Okay.
They are the future of the country.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Krishna, thank you for making your point. Yes,
future of the
Mr. Syed, yeah.
Shall I make my point?
Yes,
Ms.
yes.
Archana?
Yes, please go ahead. Yes.
See, the panelist from the BJP is telling that for everything opposition is responsible. Please note that all this has started only after BJP has come to power, and Mr. I don't understand his name. The BJP panelist is saying that those children can go to other college. Let me remind him, the government is not BJP leaders' government. The government belongs to every citizen of the state. And the college also is run by the government, hence it also belongs to all the people. It's not BJP people's college and it's not BJP people's government. Hence, everybody has the right. If you say they can choose another college, if others say the other students can choose another college, this is not the right way. This is not the way our India is going on, and that's not the way our constitution is made. The constitution gives equal rights to every person, every citizen in India. The constitution gives equal rights to those girls who are wearing hijab to perform as per their religion. There is no problem. If they wear a hijab, it's not coming in the way of any other student or any teacher or anybody. It's coming in the way of BJP people, BJP government. And BJP government is making mockery of everything, where not only all over India, even outside India, all over the world, people are laughing on this issue. And we should not have made this issue so big. They should have been given the right to get education with the hijab. And these people are playing with their future. This is not good. This is not good for my country.
Absolutely. Raghav has a point. Yes, Raghav, go ahead.
I want to make one point in response to Mr. Saeed. Can I come in?
Yes, yes, please.
Yes. So I think Mr. Saeed made a point
No,
about
mister. You have used unparliamentary word of stupid for the opposition parties. Please take back that word. This is very unparliamentary. This is
Yes,
very bad.
Mr. Saeed, I was coming to that. Raghav, yes, you can.
Calling the opposition parties as stupid, which is wrong. Please don't say that. Take that word back.
In India, for whom the country is a laughing stock, I don't know what WhatsApp messages they are using. All across the Muslim world, wherever Narendra Modi ji goes, except for Pakistan, he's given a lot, he's honored quite a bit. So that's one thing. The second thing is that unfortunately, nobody understands on this panel.
What Muslim world has got to do here for the girls' hijab?
The constitution does not protect practices that are not essential to your religion. It is absolutely clear. There are many judgments where the Supreme Court have made this clear, and unless and until it can be shown that across all the countries in the Muslim world,
you know my religion better than me.
It is compulsory to wear a hijab, like it is compulsory to offer namaz.
You only take Muslim countries as a model?
The unity and oneness of God.
This is wrong.
The practice cannot be
This is wrong.
Okay.
Just 10 seconds.
College is run by the government. Having said that, you have to follow the rules. Tomorrow I cannot say that IIT is also run by the government, so I have the right to get admission without cracking the entrance.
All right,
test.
Raghav.
Everybody has to follow the rules, but the BJP is implementing its agenda, not the rules.
One second. Okay, Raghav, you've made your point. Mr. Syed, you've made your point. I will give that opportunity to the BJP in a minute. I have a question to Tahira Hassan. Ms. Hassan, what is your solution? What do you have to say now? You know, we have to wait and watch as to what unfolds in the Karnataka High Court tomorrow. Those girls have moved the High Court. What do you think is the ideal solution? You earlier mentioned that there should be a conversation. But now that
Yes,
we
of
know that
course.
there is, sorry? Yeah.
I'm more worried about these girls' education. The Muslims' education rate of education level is already very low. Literacy level is very low all over the India.
Yes.
So this time the girls somehow or other they managed to come out and they want to get the quality of education, that too in a government college. So I think there should be discussion. The government must come forward. The education minister or whatever responsible officers, they must come forward and sit on the table with the parents of these girls and discuss the matter properly. And administration should also be there, school administration, and decide and reach to some point, conclusion point. At least these girls should not be denied their right to education that is enshrined our constitution. And I understand my constitution and I'm proud of my constitution. We believe in unity in diversity. So this is the reason I think this is high time. Now we must think about the future of these girls. That is disturbing. I want some solution, conclusion, no politics at all.
Right. Okay. Mr. Krishna, yes, I was coming to you. So as Tahira said that there should be no politics over it.
Question, let me answer to the Sayyid and Mr. Tahira, whoever is contemplating that it is BJP government, it is that government is government. Let me clarify to them, this is government of Karnataka and Union government of India. It is not BJP government, or it is not written as BJP Karnataka government or BJP Union of India.
Okay.
Please understand. Please understand. Okay. Don't teach something to the people and the students that they have to follow certain things like.
Right. Okay, Krishna, Mr. Krishna, point taken. Now I'll come to my question. In this pandemic, a lot of women lost their jobs. Of course, layoffs happened and men equally suffered, but data suggests that more women lost their jobs. They are the ones who are out of the workforce, right? And as the BJP government claims that, this government is all about Nari Shakti, you want to give wings to women, you want to help them shatter all glass ceilings, you want to do all that, right? Do you want to adopt an accommodating approach, right? If these girls, like I said, it is not my place to comment on a hijab, whether it's progressive or regressive, but if these girls say that, sir, we choose to wear this, it is our choice, and we want to also have a future. Now, as a government that believes in Nari Shakti, will you give them a chance to do so? Will you be like, it's my way or the highway? If you don't remove your hijab out of the classroom, we'll remove you out of the classroom. We'll ask you to get out. Will the government adopt an accommodative approach if these girls say that no, we cannot, we are helpless, or we are doing it out of choice, we don't want to take it off, we respect you, but we respect our faith? What will you do?
Yes.
No, please. You have put a very good question. This is what I said in the first debate when I came to Mirar now, about a month back. I said the same thing. This should have been done within the limitations of the institution and the parents and everybody. Here, the ego is the issue. Ego is the issue. Ego with the students, that they want to come with that only. They want to do that like that only. This has brought these things to this
ego
level.
Of the boys who are protesting with saffron shawls. Please note.
It came to light only. Yes, I would like to put the spotlight on that incident. It came to light when a group of boys from the right wing started marching, started wearing those saffron shawls in order to just oppose the girls who were wearing hijab.
No, you said
who's
Nari
stopping you from wearing saffron shawls? Please go ahead and wear them. But why are you protesting if somebody is wearing what they choose to wear?
No. Let me tell you.
BJP leaders are very
Archana,
bizarre statements.
somebody is there to talk to you.
Yes, okay. Mr. Krishna, go ahead.
See, what I'm telling is, this is how it should have been, as Tahira said first. Why the students did not agree when the principal called and said, they said that it is not possible. Don't disturb the harmony of the institution.
Why the saffron shawl boys didn't agree?
Please keep quiet now.
Mr. One second. Mr. Syed, 1 second.
Them to go
Yes,
out and
you'll
remove the
get
shawls
the
and come
chance.
to the class. Why
Mr. Syed?
didn't they agree?
I'm saying
Yes, sir.
if the girls cover their head, it is not going to hamper the
Archana, I'm not going to
fundamental
let
right
them
of
talk.
others.
I'm
Let
not going
them
to talk.
cover.
Tahira,
and the
1 second.
principal
Tahira and
should
Mr.
decide
Syed.
the color of the scarf.
Tahira, please,
Only
please be
not the
patient.
head,
Okay,
that's
ladies
all.
and gentlemen.
Not head to toe. Not head to toe hijab, na? Only covering their head.
Yes, Tahira,
Allow
please
them
try to.
to
No, no.
get-
All right, I got your point. All I'm trying to say is please don't intervene when somebody is talking. I will come to you. I will give you your time. Anyway, we are running out of time on this debate. Quickly, Mr. Krishna, quickly wind up your
my point is
thoughts.
very
Yes.
clear. My point is very clear. It is a opposition module to disturb the harmony in the BJP ruled states especially. And now the Uttar Pradesh election is going. They want to put the blame on the BJP. Let me politicize this today. When they are politicizing, why Siddaramaiah opened his mouth? As a former chief minister, he knows that very well. This is how it has gone.
Okay, and you're saying it has nothing to do with next year's Karnataka elections, right? It has nothing to do with the elections that are due in the state.
It is more with the Uttar Pradesh election than with Karnataka elections.
Okay. All right.
Miss Archana, I want to ask the
Syed,
BJP
yes.
spokesperson why the attacks on churches also have started only after the BJP has come to power. Why the attacks on masjids and dargahs also has started. Why the hijab of the Muslim girls should come in the way of the boys only after the BJP has come to power. Let him answer that.
Right. Okay. Before he answers that, we hardly have some time left on the show. Mr. Krishna, one last question, and then I'll have to wind it up. Okay. You didn't answer my question. Like I said that it is not about any political party. I did not conduct this debate to speak to any political party. I spoke to you as a representative of a party who's ruling at the center and in the state and is responsible for the people. Okay, so I'm asking you, was any woman consulted before this decision was made? That's all. Represented, was there any representation? Was any woman, I'm not talking about, even if in the BJP, was any woman consulted? Because what women wear eventually becomes the decision of a man.
We have constituted the committee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is the matter is in the High Court, and the verdict will come tomorrow. The committee consists of lot of veteran educationalists.
Okay. And there are women members in it? Okay. I want to ask this question because it is not about any religion. It is not about that. It is about how men get to decide what women wear. Whether it is a hijab, whether it's a ghungat, whether it is anything. So we'll wait for the BJP to respond to that, though that is another issue, and we'll have that conversation some other day. But we'll have to wait and watch. It's a very important day in the Karnataka High Court tomorrow. We'll see what the court says, what the hearings are, the kind of arguments that are made in the court. I would like to thank all my guests on the show tonight. It was a conversation that we aimed that will result in a fruitful conclusion. It needs a lot of nuance. It needs a lot of patience. People need to come on a table, negotiating table, and talk and not deny education to women or anyone in this country. With that, it's time for a short break. Stay tuned to Mirror Now. Urban Debate is still on air.